Hey everybody, welcome. So, it's the official start of summer. Barbecues are being planned. So, if there's anything you ever want to bring to a barbecue, simple and very popular dish would be a tomato and onion salad. So, that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be quick, but it's going to be good. You should do this at least a day ahead of time, so this way it gives the tomatoes and onions time to meld together. So let's get started. Okay, so I've got a barbecue to go to tomorrow, and I decided that I'm gonna do these the tomato and onion salad. You want a big bowl. I got vine ripe tomatoes. They're beautiful color. I'm gonna wash these. You're going to need some oregano. You need some fresh basil. It really should be fresh. The dried basil, you don't get much of a flavor there. And you're going to need red onion. It really needs to be red onion. You could probably get away with a white onion, but color-wise, taste-wise, I think the red onion is the way to go. You're going to need olive oil, red wine vinegar, salt, pepper to taste. So let me get this stuff washed up and then we'll be back. Okay, so I'm making a large batch here because it's a family event and there's going to be quite a few people there. I just want to make sure that I have enough. So the amounts are going to depend on the amount of people that are going to be served. So we're talking maybe a dozen people. So it's actually not a lot if you think about a dozen people. But there's going to be other sides. The core. Get a small paring knife, sharp. Hold it like this. Okay. And you just stick it in the core. And rotate it around, and the core comes out, and that way you don't waste any of the tomato by cutting the tops off. Again, put it in, and you're coming in on an angle, so this way you get so let me do these up and then we'll slice these up. So these are all cored. Now I've seen tomatoes cut up many different ways when it comes to this salad. I've seen them sliced, I've seen them diced, but I like to wedge them. But wedge them small. So you need a sharp knife if your tomatoes are kind of soft, which these are, and that's what you want. All right, and basically you can see just kind of, well, I guess maybe this is slicing. I guess this is slicing. But to me they're wedges. So again, so you sliced it in half, and then you just slice your tomatoes. Slice in half. Okay, so these are all sliced up. We're going to start with one onion. The onion, you want to cut thin. Cut it in half. Actually, quarter it. And then you can cut them thin. So this is what we're talking. That's how thin. Okay, so I got that one large onion in here. I just want to mix it up. I'll give you a better idea if you need more onion. And I really think that, I mean, I could probably put a little bit more in, but I'd wind up wasting the onion. So I'm going to go with this. Okay. So now what you want to do, you want to add your oregano. I've made this, I don't know how many times, I never measure. I go according to look. You sprinkle it all over the top. And you pretty much cover it, and that should be good. Once you mix it in, it'll be a little bit on each. Salt, same thing with salt. You know, you can have vinegar in it, so be careful on salting, otherwise it's just going to be a little bit too overpowering. So that was probably a couple teaspoons of salt. Fresh pepper. Now what's going to happen, now that you have some salt in there, it's going to start to draw some of the liquid out of the, mainly the tomatoes, but it'll also draw it out of the onions. So just give that a nice mix. Let me get your basil. So I'm going to see, I'll probably take half of this. This is this is rooted, so you can plant it, but I've never had that much success with that. So let me wash this basil, and then we'll be back. And what you want is you want to get the leaves. You don't want to use the stem, but you know what? It's always a good idea. Maybe freeze the stem. I've wanted to try this. Freeze the stem, and then when you get a bunch of them, thaw them and dehydrate them, and make your, and then crush them up, and then you'll have your dry basil. So we're gonna do this a little bit at a time. So you just take it and you kind of roll it. This is called chiffonade. And then you want to make little ribbons. And then you'll see it's nice and thin ribbons. You put that in. I don't think this one's gonna be as easy. So it's advisable not to cut the basil up ahead of time, because you're gonna lose a lot of flavor as it sits. So you would want to cut it up when you use it and then put it in. And there, got a nice cover. I could probably use more, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm going to leave it like that. I can't even tell you the amount that I'm going to use. I go according to my eye. And so far that's probably, I don't know, quarter cup of olive oil. Mix it up. Now you could taste it at this point, but you're really just tasting it for the amount of vinegar, because it hasn't had time to really, marinate. So I'm just going to take a small piece. That's too big. All right, you can use more salt and more vinegar. I think I'm going to go with that. By the time it marinates and sits overnight, you'll be good to go. Okay, so there you have it. A nice tomato and onion salad with some basil. Usually have this several times during the summer months. Maybe every other weekend probably. It's great if you can get tomatoes on sale. These were on sale for like 99 cents a pound. That's why I bought so many. And you can use Roma tomatoes. You can use any type of tomato. Just make sure they're nice and ripe. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this. This is John Campbell, the Not So Neat Chef, saying goodbye.